moment, I didn't think it at all. And while we were actually being arrested, it wasn't until we had gotten out afterwards, and it was my colleague Josh Campbell, who was just about a block away. He was one of the first to come up to me and say, once he had heard what happened.
All right, everybody. It is Friday, May 29th, and this is RTL, Riot and Revolution. Tonight, and I want you to follow me very carefully because this is a very multifaceted narrative I'm going to lay out for you tonight. Because those of you who follow me know I'm very into thinking and putting in it and putting all the pieces together. No, Melissa, there's no more officers have been charged. It's just the one. It's just the one. Okay. And protests are happening all over the country right now. And I got a screen, I'm splitting the screen up over here right now. What's going on in Minneapolis so you can see for yourself if you're not sitting in front of a television. But we have a problem in America that is bigger than this incident in Minnesota, that is bigger than the incident that happened in Brunswick, Georgia. It is bigger than the incident that took place in New York City. It's bigger than the incident that took place in Kentucky. It's bigger than every incident that we've had in the last 10 years or even longer. Because what we have right now is an opportunity. And every couple of years we get this opportunity. And we march, we protest, we riot, we burn shit down. And we've been doing this for quite a while now. And we get officers arrested. They go on trial. In most cases, they get acquitted. Then we march, we protest, and we burn shit down. I'm all for marching, protesting, and burning shit down. However, when do we change the objective? How do we, as a people, and at this particular point, when I'm saying as a people, I'm talking about black people. So white people, for one moment, I need you to stand to the side, watch, learn, and observe. But right now, I'm talking to black folks. So if but I'm still saying white people, I need you to listen. We as black people, when are we going to designate an objective other than just burning shit down? Because as my title says, Riot and Revolution. When do we move from the point of just rioting to we actually having a revolution? And I ain't talking about it, and please don't get mad at me. I'm not talking about the Bernie Sanders our revolution type revolution. I'm talking about American 1776 revolution. I'm talking Haitian revolution. I'm talking about when are we going to move past that? And I'm not condoning violence. But what I'm stating is that for 400 years, anytime white people have wanted us to stop doing something, they come and burn our shit down. Tulsa, Greenwood, Rosewood, you name it, they come in there and they burnt it down. Now, what I'm sitting there saying is, why are we burning all the shit down? Now, I can understand why Target has been hit. That is a symbol of corporate might. Okay? I can understand the police station being hit. I can understand every major chain store being hit. What I cannot understand is why you will burn down our own people's shit. I'm not understanding that. Because again, what is the objective? Again, a lot of you who follow me know that I've been going through this journey of stoic reflection. Learning and learning and starting to try to practice the stoic philosophy. And I've had some people challenge me, well, Scout, being attacking people is not very stoic. Oh yes, hell it is. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because see, one of the first things that the stoic philosophy teaches you is that you have a choice in how you react. Now the question is your reaction, does your reaction serve a purpose? Right now, burning shit down need to serve a purpose. Now, I can say from last night with that precinct burning, that served a purpose. We have a charge. Now, the question is, America, what else we got to fucking burn down for you to understand that we can no longer take this shit anymore? I'm not advocating violence. I'm just asking a question. What does it take? Now, white people, I'm going to talk to you. You can stop this. Though there are those of you who are allies. You have stood and you stand in solidarity with us today. Will you hear, see, smell, taste racism? I need you to get just as pissed off as you are now. And I need you to eradicate it. I need to make sure that now, from this day forward, you don't raise another child thinking that they have any type of privilege other than the privileges they have as a regular American citizen. And you are to advocate that to everybody you know. You recognize that I and those who are like me are treated differently in this country. Now, back to my black people. There's something that I found disturbing today. Now, I'm a thinker and I'm an amateur historian, and I understand some, I understand certain things from a historical context. Now, there's this thing called agent provocateurs. They exist. However, why do we give credit to a white man for one of our victories? Why would we say a white man started the riot? Why? Why blame it on them? Because we're blaming it on them as if we did something wrong. We ain't did nothing wrong. We deserve to burn some shit down. We deserve to revolt. This insurrection is all. Stop giving these white people who are against us power to just even go and say, oh, the white boy did it. He did it. That's why the riot started. That gives the white supremacists power, because why? Again, they did something. They had the power to make it start. They are the ones who are the agents of change. Why in the hell are we going to give them some freaking power? Take responsibility for that burning our damn self. Yes, we started it. We did it. We're the leaders and agents of our own change. We have to stop allowing. See, there they go. We have to stop allowing. There they go. There they go. There they go. We have to stop allowing people to take our rights from us. We have to let that stop. It has to stop today. We have to work hard to make sure that people know that this is our movement, not their movement. that they don't have control over whether or not we do X, Y, or Z. That power belongs to us. And to sit there and say, oh, it was the provocateurs. Now, there's times in history in which that has happened. World War II started based on agent provocateurs going across the Polish border and attacking German positions, therefore giving them pretext to invade Poland. If there was an agent provocateur involved, maybe it was the fucking police officer. Because this is 5 times he's done this shit. Maybe he is the agent provocateur. Maybe he had maybe it was an operation on his part. Now, if you're gonna have conspiracy theory, that's a good one. But we as a people must not give any more power to white supremacists than they already think they have. We have to stand up and say, look, these are our actions. These are our movements. There's nobody playing in the background forcing us to act. It just didn't start off doing whatever. But that's not where we're going. Now, again, I said I want you to follow this because there's a lot going on here. Because we're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with people lying on us, we're dealing with people killing us, we got people breaking into our houses. What are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? There's a lot going on that we need to be paying attention to. We have a president who we all as Americans should be able to look to in this time of trouble to unify us. He can't do it. He won't do it. This plays into his plan. But yet, even on the side of the opposition, amongst the left, we can't get it. We can't come together just long enough to admit that, okay, maybe our choices are better than what we got. You know, I hear people talking about, oh, I can't vote for Biden, 94 crime bill, blah, 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 blah. Biden and Trump are not the same person. And I have something to say about the 94 crime bill. And I've said it time and time again. And I've said it time and time again. And I've said it time and time again. The 94 crime bill was effed up. But, however, it was something that not only was passed, but it was asked for. A lot of y'all who are hollering and screaming about the 94 crime bill, one, weren't even born yet. Two, if you was too damn young to remember it. And you don't understand the things that led up to it. Because I had to sit there and I've been pondering this for quite some time now. Because in 1994, I was 20 years old. This time, in 1994, I was 20 years old. I was a sailor on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, an aircraft carrier based in Norfolk, Virginia. I think about this time, we may have been off the coast of Haiti, invading Haiti. It might have been around this time, or we had just come back and were preparing to go on our med cruise, our Mediterranean deployment. And the years preceding that, particularly the years 1988, 89, 90, 91, 92, were some hard-ass years for the hood. We had major gang wars going on. And when I say we ain't talking about the stuff that gangs do now, we talking about major gang wars We're talking something that might seem like ancient history, y'all. We're talking about Crips and Bloods, which there's still Bloods around. And they're trying to make a resurgence, but they were at war with the Crips in ways that couldn't even be seen. You had the Jamaican posses and gangs here in Atlanta, specifically down by law, fighting one another. You had the gangs up in Chicago fight. The gangs do not fight each other on the same level they were fighting each other back then. There was a war taking place in our neighborhood that was intertwined with the gang war. It was like Vietnam in the hood. You had the North and the South, we can sit there and say, were the gangs. Then you had the innocent people in the middle, and you had the damn police and the damn government, the Americans. All in your shit. And hell, the police wouldn't even come in our neighborhoods. That is one of the reasons that people were pushing for something to happen, because the police wouldn't even come in the neighborhood. They would let motherfuckers shoot each other up and wait to come in and count the bodies afterwards. They wouldn't even investigate a murder. It just, this is when you had movies like Boys in the Hood and Colors come out. That wasn't just entertainment. Those were stories being told by Spike Lee and John Singleton and all of those guys, telling us about what was going on at the time. We were pleading and begging for something. The 94 crime bill came in and provided that something. Was it right? Hell to the no, because it ended up putting a lot more of us in jail. And if you watch the history of how the gangs operated, maybe within a year or two of that, you started getting the so-called truces, because that shit got real in the field. Because at that point, I think the gangs realized that they were no longer the enemy of each other, but the enemy was the police. From the early 90s till today, we've seen more atrocities played out in our neighborhoods because of the militarization of our police. We asked for it because there were times when we celebrated, particularly here in Atlanta, we celebrated the Red Dogs, the special force that was inside the Atlanta, under the Black Cats. We celebrated that. Our mayors touted their exploits in front of us until the shit just got out of hand and they finally disbanded them because it was no longer something we needed. We now realize that we should not be prosecuting people for petty marijuana crimes. We've realized that this is different, but in 94, we were asking for that. The lead up years, we were asking for that. So this leads me to ask a question. We can get what we want if we ask enough. But let's be careful this time what we ask for. Because we know we need systemic change. We know that because of COVID, that there needs to be more access to medical resources for the African American community. We know because of the downturn in the pandemic and whatnot that has been caused, that our businesses needed more access to capital to be able to survive through this, because some people got capital and some people didn't, and a lot of us did not get any capital. But at the same time, we have to ask questions, and I'm not deflecting, but this is realistic, because when Joe Biden said, if you had a choice between deciding between Trump and him, you ain't black, a lot of us said, we say that shit all the time, but it just was wrong for him to say it. So I'm not a white man. And I'm saying it. There are also some things that we need to take responsibility for in our communities. I know that as an African American man, I always don't eat right. I know I always don't take care of my body in a way that is appropriate for me to be taken care of. However, it does not give anybody the excuse to mistreat me. Because white people fat, white people got diabetes, white people like big gulps, they like Big Macs, some of them even like, pigeons and other unhealthy shit. It's America. We all eat bacon like it ain't nobody's business. But they have access to health care. We don't. Now, where we can make a difference, we should. But that does not give anybody an excuse to continue to just mistreat us, abuse us, act like we ain't here. We need to make another thing that we need to do is look at the idea of policing in this country. Because when we look at why the police were formed to begin with, we've always had sheriffs and constables. I'm okay more with the sheriff department than I've ever been with a police department. Why? Because I elect my sheriff. He's a, he is a, he is accountable to me by the ballot box. Now you would say, "Oh, the police chief is accountable to you because you elect the mayor and the city council." Well, for any of you who've ever lived in counties and cities where you have a strong city manager, county manager system, that's some bitch accountable too. And we watch them go through many administrations because they learn to hold shit over your head. Challenge a police chief or particular appointment situation. They start, and if they really want to rise and jokers, they come for you. There's no accountability for these people. There's no accountability, none whatsoever. We need to reevaluate how we police in this country. There needs to be a fundamental change on how we see things in this country. We can no longer continue with the traditions that allow racism to creep and so easily embed itself inside of certain institutions. We need to make some changes. One of the other changes that we need to make in America today also is how we deal with one another. Just because I'm black don't mean I don't belong. White people, watch your privilege. You need to do something about that. Another thing, black folks, and I know some of my fellow Democrats are going to hate this, but the way we look at the Second Amendment needs to change. It's time to arm ourselves. Because, see, one of the things we have to pay attention to, you're looking on that screen, in state houses all across the country just a couple of weeks ago, there were white men standing with their rifles because they had to wear a fucking mask. That we were asking them to stay at home for the betterment of everybody else, and their asses whined and cried. And you didn't see no tear gas. You didn't see no troops moving in on them. You didn't see none of that. Now, most of us believe that if we had attempted the same thing, they would have probably tried to light our asses up. It would have been the 4th of July, Juneteenth, and every damn thing else wrapped up in the one with fireworks. But then it would have made a difference. We need to march on the capitals in peaceful, armed protests. So they're real careful about when they put their people out down the line. And let's see what happens. I'm down for that. And I know others who are. Because it is a time for black people to stand in their full citizenship of the United States of America. We, in a couple of weeks, will be celebrating Juneteenth. And I've seen these t-shirts say free-ish. Free-ish. Since 1865. I want to be all the way free. So, march, protest, burn shit down if you must. Not advocating it, but if you must, if you feel like that's what you need to do. Not advocating it. Again, not advocating it. But what I need you to do, if you can go out there, march, protest, and burn shit down. Before they charge you with the felony for burning shit down, I'm gonna need you to go vote. Because as I stated on Down South and Dirt, I think it was last week or maybe before that, it might have been on another live. If 80% of African Americans who were eligible to vote was to turn out to vote, it would substantially change the way America is governed. This is not a time to withhold the vote. Vote for whoever the hell is on your ballot that you can closest agree with. But do not sit it out. If you don't feel like the voting by mail can work for you, then just like we were risking it to go out here and protest, then put on your mask and take your ass to the damn polling place. But vote. In some places, it's extremely difficult, but we got to. People, let's think. We need an objective. We need to move from riot to revolution. There needs to be a change. For you people who are running for office, particularly those of you who are running for countywide positions, who are running for statewide positions, who you are running for federal positions, what is your plan to heal the black man and woman? What is your plan? Come with something. Don't just come at all. Just don't come as you are. You best come with something. Because we're getting sick and tired of being tired. This is RTL, powered by Down South and Dirty. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Keep your eyes on the Down South and Dirty page. There's an announcement about our show on Sunday, maybe a special guest. Hope for it, crossing our fingers. We're going to announce it as soon as we find out. But stay strong, my people. Stay safe, stay healthy. Wear your mask, social distance as much as you can, but enjoy your life. Let's stop living in fear and let's move it forward. This is Down South and Dirty RTL, and I'm out. Peace.